weeks ago, did a video about one of my professors at school, and definitely a bit more vitriol than the situation ultimately warranted. I am not above admitting when I was wrong, petty as I am. And in this case, I was wrong, sort of. So, my thoughts were that this teacher was just incompetent, had no idea how to run a class. Maybe she had never done it before. I don't know. I didn't know. All I know is that I was really irritated with the way that she spoke to me. And it's like, I would never speak to a student that way. I don't care how long I'd been, teaching. And I will admit that there is definitely some personal bias on my part because she is a younger professor, probably not much older than me, if at all. And I don't think that doctors that new should be teaching new potential doctors how to be doctors that soon. But, that's just me. She was hired by the university. Clearly they vetted her. So whatever. In that case, it's fine. The problem is again, how she spoke to me. I reached out with a genuine question about an assignment that I didn't want to do, or at least didn't want to do the way that I read it as assigned. And I'll admit, I apparently read the assignment wrong. I thought that what she was asking me to do was the final assignment, that I didn't have any say in my final project, and that's just what I had to do for my final project, which turned out not to be the case. But she didn't explain that. She didn't explain that it was a smaller self-contained assignment, and so the wording was very confusing, and I wasn't the only person in class who had this issue, so clearly it wasn't just a misread on my part. So there's at least that. I'm not going to say that either of us was wrong or right in that circumstance. It was just a misreading, a misinterpretation, a misunderstanding between the two of us. So I can admit that was overblown on my part. Did I do that assignment and figure out a way to wrap it into narrative communications and figure out a way to work it into my final dissertation project? Yes, I did, because I am that petty. Will I still do that now? I don't know, maybe. I have had several different ideas for what I want to do for my dissertation. The fact that I am petty enough to have solidified a direction that I was going to go, specifically to spite this teacher. I mean, I'm petty enough to do that if it's deserved. In this case, it was not. So now I'm back to more wide open spaces in that regard. And I have plenty of time, so it's not that big a deal. Another issue is that she didn't do the portal well. Like, she was using somebody else's template, I guess, and the template that she had set up was for a completely different semester, so all of the dates were wrong. And when I reached out to her and I'm like, hey, I need to know the actual dates that this stuff is due, she's like, well, it's on the portal. And I'm like, if it is, it's hidden. And then there was an assignment that was up that was apparently not supposed to be up, but I did that assignment anyway. It was very poorly handled. And every time I reached out to her to communicate my concerns, she just talked down to me and she took what I don't know. It was very frustrating. And then when I finally met her in person, she was super nice, super sweet, but she still had that like tone of condescension, like this whole I know what I'm doing because I already have my doctorate degree kind of thing, which I'm not about that life. I do not appreciate. We're all trying to, finish this race, and it's not about winning, it's about finishing. And looking down on other people because they're still running when you've already got past the finish line and now you're coaching, Not a fan. And apparently, she teaches some of the other like base level courses, and I don't want to deal with that. I don't. This one class has told I can get along with pretty much anybody. I really can. You know, I don't, but I cannot, and it's a pride thing. I'll own it straight up. It's a pride thing. That is my sin. I'm an extremely prideful person, like absurdly prideful person. But I can set aside my pride for a really long time before you push me over the edge and I'm just done. Like I was playing a cell phone game that involves PvP, and we were in a nap, no attacking players, and that was supposed to end on a certain date, and 2 days before the end date, one of the big players decided he was done with the nap and he's just going to attack whoever he wants because he can, because he's powerful. He's more powerful than us, and I was one of the people that was hit. I was like, what the heck, dude? And so I called him out on the chat. I was like, what is your problem? Is you and your guild, you're a bully and a jerk, and if your guild lets you get away with this, then they're bullies too. And and one of his other guild members comes on and was like, hey, you're gonna get upset because you were attacked in a war game. And I'm like, it's not about being attacked, okay? I'm a second-rate player in a no-name guild. I'm used to being attacked. If it was the day the nap ended, it would have been my own fault because I didn't make preparations for the ending of the nap. But it wasn't. It's the same sort of thing here. Somebody in a position of more power than I have is using that power to condescend to me or to bully me or to whatever because they can. I can't abide bullies. I never have. And this whole do it because I said so, because I know better than you, or because I'm more powerful than you, I'm not behind it. So yes, I will admit I did blow things out of proportion to a certain extent. I still don't think that it was handled well on her part, and I could have reached out to her again to clarify a little bit more, but I just didn't want to talk to her because I didn't like the way she talked to me. And so, yeah, this is just like a really prideful roundabout way of me saying that I was wrong. I shouldn't have attacked her the way that I did. I shouldn't have been as petty the way that I was. And it's something I have to work on. I'm aware of this. But at the same time, once you get to a position of power, you need to recognize that the people who are less powerful than you are not beneath you. That you don't have control over them because you're in a position that they look up to. We're seeing that everywhere in our world now. These people who have power and they think that gives them the right to control other people, and it doesn't. You may think that I'm being ridiculous talking about these small instances as if they are major, massive, world-changing things, but I'll tell you, it's the small instances that snowball into those big global issues. A lot of the things that we are dealing with right now as a culture, as a society, are happening because we didn't address them when they were small, when they were local, when they were happening to somebody else. And it's only when it happens to us that we recognize it as not okay. Well, I'm telling you, as somebody it's happened to, it's not okay. And seeing it happen to other people, it's not okay. Doesn't matter if it's not happening to me in one specific instance, it's not okay. Power is not something to be abused. It is something to be used to lift other people up. And hopefully, I pray that at some point, if I'm ever in a position where I have that power over whatever, that I'll use it wisely. Because I have been in these situations. Because I have had power used against me in ways that are wrong. And if, these things have happened to you, don't stay quiet. You don't have to be confrontational about it. You don't have to be mean about it. But if we don't call this stuff out, it's just going to happen again and again and again. Hey guys, thanks for watching that video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like, subscribe, and do all those things that you do when you enjoy a video. If you'd like to learn more about us at Moms for America or the Millennial Rant, you can visit our website at millennialrant.com or see us on our Instagram page at millennial_rant. I look forward to seeing you next week, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.